Welcome, everybody. My name is Eric Louvier. I'm here with Dan Ramsey, and I got a lot of stuff to cover, I believe, in this presentation right now. So relax, get your brains ready, because we got a lot to cover, and then we'll get some Q&A at the end of the call. So what I want to talk about today is what I'm calling piling up buckets of money with using strategic squeeze pages and then slick email marketing tricks. Plus, we're going to talk about how to make a lot of money very quickly with special limited time offers. And I'm not talking about one-time offers. I'm talking about like limited offers to your list, little, special promotions, if you will. And I've done a lot of those in the past, and they always seem to work really well and bring in a lot of cash very quickly. So what we're going to talk about here is really crafting cool emails for your list, building up a list and squeeze pages and the whole 9 yards, because this really, when it gets down to it, is how we make the bulk of our money. Marketers will do launches, and they'll do lots of different things. Like, you might have a marketer guru do some launch for a week and make themselves, $200,000 or $1 million, but they got all these customers and they got all these new subscribers, and then like a few months later, once that launch has kind of died down or died away, that marketer will continue to make a lot of money with the list, and they will have to come up with new offers for that list or affiliate offers for that list, and they'll have to come up with ways to keep the list engaged and paying attention so they don't lose the attention of the list, because out of sight, out of mind. But when it comes to, the bulk of the money that marketers make, a lot of them make most of their money from their email list, or what I like to call now, especially with social media, captured audience marketing. So in the past, it was mostly email marketing. So in the past, like 4 years ago, and when I was making these slides for you, I probably would have put email marketing as the title. But now, I'm putting captured audience marketing, and that's kind of the way I'm starting to think about it now, which is quite different than I used to think about marketing, direct response marketing in the past. So in the past, I might have had a captured audience that was my email list, right? The email subscriber base that I build up, like in my GetResponse account or Aweber account. That's one audience. Well, there's another audience that I'd go after back then a lot, which I call direct mail. So I build up a list of people who entered their addresses, and I can send them little postcards and stuff. And maybe even a captured audience of people that I had phone numbers for, because I had a call center, and we would call people and sell them coaching packages and whatnot. So there was really kind of three audiences, or three captured audiences, that I could make money out of thin air with. Does that make sense? Like, I could send an email to my list right now, right this very moment, and hopefully make some money because it's a captured audience. I could also fire up a direct mail campaign, get the mail out, and then, in the next couple of days or so, people will start getting those postcards, and then I'll make money. That's another captured list. Or I could give the list of phone numbers to a telemarketing floor, and they can start calling those people and start generating money right away. That's the kind of the way I look at direct response marketing, is what kind of captured audiences do you have? Well, now with social media, it's gone even bigger, because I have people that follow me on Twitter. Not a ton, because I don't really pay attention to Twitter that much, but there's a Twitter audience. There's a Facebook audience. YouTube could be created into a subscription audience. Pinterest and Instagram, and now it's really getting to be kind of crazy. Well, as a marketer, those are all different audiences. Like, my wife is on Pinterest. I don't get on Pinterest. I don't even know what Pinterest is. Is it pictures? It's just like all this stuff that, it's almost like too much stuff out there. But when you look at it from an captured audience point of view, all it takes is one audience to make yourself a lot of money. But it's also smart, I think, to diversify a little bit and have a few different a few different audiences. They could all be big, but a few different audiences in just a few directions to probably make you a ton of money, because you have all these captured audiences. Now, each audience you have to treat a little bit differently, right? Like, I can email my list and hammer them with sales attempts all week long, and I'll get some unsubscribes. I get unsubscribes no matter what I do. I mean, I could just send them a $100 bill through email and say, hey, anyone that wants a $100 bill, come over here, and I'll still get people unsubscribed. So there's just nothing you can do to prevent unsubscribes. It's going to happen. But I could promote to my list all week long and sell them, hit them over the heads with sales attempts, and they're all cool with that because they're on my marketing list. That's what they expect. But if I go to Facebook and start hammering them with sales attempts, people will start unfriending me, and that's not what they want, right? So you got to treat each audience a little bit, differently than each other. So got to get a good feel for what your audience is. So you got ebook, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, direct mail, phone list. All of these are different captured audiences that you treat differently. They expect things differently, but it's all opportunities for you to make money out of thin air and get them engaged in what you're doing to improve your business and grow your assets and grow your leverage and earn more and more revenue. So let's talk about how to market to them and the tricks that you can use to get response rates up and all that. Well, first, we'll talk about emails. Remember, this is just an audience. Your email subscriber list should be what you're striving to create if you're getting started. But once you have a customer base or a subscriber base, or you could call it a prospect base, it's a bunch of people, right? Human beings with eyeballs, right? That's what you have, an audience of people that are all like-minded. If I have a list of people who are all into Yorkie dogs, that's one list of people. That's one audience. If I have another list of people who are into model airplanes, that's a complete different list, right? That's a different audience. So market to demographics. Market to your audience and stick to your audiences and build up your list, build up your customer base, build up your subscriber base, build up your assets and resources and products and relationships and affiliate opportunities and vendors and suppliers and everything you can in each audience. However, the key to writing emails is to write towards one person, not a group. So you don't want to say in your emails, all of you, or you all, or in Texas we say y'all. Y'all. You don't want to say that in your emails too much because that's not very intimate. It doesn't feel like if you write an email to your list and you say, hey guys, I want to let all of y'all know that tomorrow we're going to be doing a live call at 7 p.m. so y'all don't want to miss this. You want to make sure all of y'all can get on there. All of my subscribers are invited, so I want all of y'all to be there sharp tomorrow. That's not very intimate. For me, receiving that email from you would be like, well, you're not talking to me. You're talking to your whole list. But if you write an email and it's written with the word YOU, what I want you to do is I want you to show up tomorrow at Thursday at 7 p.m. and be on this live call with me, not with all of us, but with me, so I can share with you how to make a bunch of money online with emails and squeeze pages and savvy special offer promotions. So be sure you show up tomorrow at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss this. You would be very, very smart to be here, so you better be sure and set your alarm and get here as soon as. See what I mean? I'm writing to you, so it's a more intimate thing. So remember, you're marketing to an audience, but you're writing your emails to one person, not a group. So say you, Y-O-U. It's one of the most powerful persuasive words in copywriting and conversions is the word you, Y-O-U. So who is your ideal audience and who is your ideal customer, your customer avatar? I talk about that a lot. Who is your customer avatar? Really, really try to figure out who your customer is. What does this person really, really want? So you can figure out what does your customer really, really want and really create a profile of your customer. Like imagine you're a sketch artist, for the FBI, and someone's explaining to you this person, and you want to sketch this person out. You want to know who this person is. You want to profile this person as best you can. What do they love? What do they really, really want? What do they need? What are their emotions? What keeps them up late at night worrying? What do they hate? How old are they about? What's their income level like? Maybe their education level. What are their hobbies? What do they like to do? Who is this person that you're targeting? I mean, everything you can create about this fictitious person, that's the person that you're going to write to. So I even will try to find pictures to use of my ideal customer. You could find some, stranger out there on internet land, and you can find a picture of some person that meets your avatar, and you can save that picture or print it. That person will never know. There's billions of people on the planet, right? And you can print it out and stick it on your wall, and that's your customer. And every time you write an email, you look at that picture of that, that lady or that guy, and you write to that person and your vision of what you have for that person, because that's your customer. And you write straight to that person a letter, like that person's your friend or that person's your customer. So you might have a picture of some middle-aged guy, right? Middle-aged man on your wall, and you want to look at that person. When you look at that picture of that middle-aged man, that person's a fan of yours. That person loves to buy your stuff, and that person is the perfect match for you and what you provide and what you say to your list and the stuff that you sell to your list. So that's the way you do that. So now I went out to just give you an example real quick and so I went to Google and I just typed in picture of a middle-aged man, and of course it gives me like bazillion pictures of strangers. And I just picked one for you to show. Like, this could be your perfect avatar, because in the internet marketing marketplace, if that's what you're going after, your primary demographic is a middle-aged man. Now, there's the middle-aged ladies, and the demographic has exploded. So I don't know what it is now as far as the data. It's probably neck and neck, and maybe it's even more middle-aged ladies that are dominating, the customer base for internet marketing. But for the longest time, it's been middle-aged men who, if you go to internet seminars, that's pretty much what you see. Middle-aged men. Sure, there's young guys there. There's young ladies. There's older people too. But for the most part, it's the demographic is the bulk of people are middle-aged men. So I went out and found a picture of that middle-aged person for you. So this would be my target customer if I was going after internet marketing market. This guy right here. Who loves cats. It's just a joke. So write to that person right there. You want to write to this dude. If that's your target audience, this guy right here who loves that white cat, the cat doesn't look very happy. Like, you never see cats smiling, right? They always look kind of pissed off. But he's sure happy. So this could be your target guy. So you'd have an avatar of this guy, and you'd know what his personality is like. He's very soft and friendly and bubbly, and he's kind of laid back. He's analytical. He's a perfectionist. You kind of figure out who this guy is, and you write to that guy. Your vision of that person. But make your avatar perfect, because that's who you're going to write to get the best response you can, and you'll start to attract that market as well. So when I craft email copy, I'll think of that guy right there. I should print him out and put him on the wall right next to my real customer avatar picture that's on the wall. So that's who you write copy of. So when you're writing copy, you think of that person. You have that person in your mind, and you think of that person while you're writing copy. Okay? So I have a friend of mine, he's an internet marketer, and he interviewed me, and he said, Eric, don't be real hypey, about making money online and all that. I want you to tone it down and be a little bit more like, corporate professional, I guess, because that's the audience that he's going after. He's not going after the internet marketing people who are all like, sizzle, hypey, making $1 billion by clicking this red button. That market is really into hypey stuff. His market that he's going after, completely not. So he's like, be that guy and market to that customer. So as a professional marketer and copywriter, you start to understand this. So if I was writing copy for somebody who was going after let's say, actually have a client, let's say I have a client that is in the parenting niche. And so the parenting niche, I'm not going to be real hypey writing copy for that niche. It doesn't work. But I'm going to write to that parent who's concerned, has concerns and real true worries and stuff, and it's going to be toned down. It's going to be a completely different voice, a completely different style, and all of that, but I'm writing to that person. Do you understand how important that is in your business? If I have 10,000 attorneys on my list, I'm not going to be a certain way. I'm going to be their way. I'm going to speak their language. I'm going to write and be like them, like-minded people. Okay, that's where you're going to get the biggest response from your audiences that you're targeting. So my customer avatar for the internet marketing market is Homer Simpson. I have him on my wall. He's pinned on my wall. And we could do a whole presentation as why Homer Simpson is the customer avatar for the internet marketing market. And the reason why is because I'll give you a couple, but we can do a whole presentation. Some of the reasons why is because in the internet marketing market, you really have to dumb down as much as you can as possible so people can understand it. And it's like everyone's like, duh. I'm not ragging on people. I'm saying that, if I'm doing a presentation and someone will ask me, what's a squeeze page? Now that's not a knock on them. It's a knock on me. And it's a reminder for me to dumb it down. That's probably the wrong way to say it. Newbie it down so everyone gets it, right? It's real hard for me to remember when I first started that I didn't know this terminology and I didn't know this stuff, but I have to try real hard to be that person and go back in time to that person because that's who I'm identifying with. It'd be really easy for me to do presentations to advanced marketers that do over $1 million a year online. That'd be a piece of cake. I don't even need slides for that. I could sit down and just talk to someone, right? And they're going to get tons of value from it because they're me. We're both doing the same thing. But to teach someone who's just getting started, who hasn't made any money online, is not me. I have to go back to that time when it was me when I first started, which is getting more and more difficult to do. That's why a lot of marketers who have been in this business for 10 years start only focusing on higher income leveled customers, people that have already graduated. The problem with that is there's just very few of those that reach that level. Very few customers. So email formula. I think it should be unpredictable. I've seen that work best for me, and I've some of my go-to people that I've talked to, it works really well for them. And there was one time where we were popping about 200 grand a month by just focusing on being unpredictable with the emails that we were sending out. It was pretty remarkable because it was like everything before that time for me and everything after. Once I realized the power of being unpredictable, that changed everything. And I know it might sound like common sense or simplistic, but wow. What a huge difference, because here's really the rationale behind this, is people are resistant to sales attempts. So if you try to sell somebody something and they know you're trying to sell them, they're going to be very resistant to whatever it is you're trying to sell them, even if it's something they need, even if it's something they really, really want. They're still skeptical, they're still resistant, and they have barriers to you selling them something because they know you're trying to sell them something. So it's a defense mechanism. Well, so that's the rule. People are resistant to sales attempts, but they are not resistant to sales attempts that they cannot detect. So if they don't realize that you're trying to sell them something, and you're just giving them free content or just helping them or just talking to them, and then all of a sudden you transition into a sales pitch, well, then you got them. Because they've already opened up. They don't have the barriers anymore, right? They dropped their guard, and now you're in, and then you sell them. It's a lot easier to sell. Well, I think it has something to do with that, but when you're unpredictable with your emails, you get a lot more people to open them up, you get a lot more action, you make a lot more money, you get a lot more conversions. So by being unpredictable, I mean, don't be so cookie cutter that they know what every email is going to be like from you for the rest of your life. So it's like every email is 3 paragraphs, they go like this, and then there's a link to click, and all of his subject titles are 2 words. You want to be unpredictable, so you mix it all up. You have long emails, short emails, medium-sized emails. One email pitches and sells something. Another email gives free content. Another email sends them to watch a YouTube video of yours. Another email, later on sends them to your blog to read an article. Another email sends them to register for a teleseminar. Another email sends them to some gadget that you really like that they should buy, that you're using at home. And you just be unpredictable, and then they'll pay attention because they can't help it. It's a psychological situation with human beings. It's called the Zeigarnik effect. People don't like incomplete stuff. They like to know everything. That's why a lot of my marketing, I try to disguise what it is I'm doing. So if I send an email, sometimes I'll just knock over the head and say, here, go buy this. But sometimes I'm disguising stuff so people can't figure out what I'm doing, because my market, the internet marketing marketplace, is very curious creatures, and they want to try to figure things out. They want to use these secret links to figure out what your next move is and what you're really trying to do and what script you're using and what your whole intention is. It's like this video game to them. So the more I disguise what I'm doing, the better my results are. So a lot of times I'll get a domain name just for a promotion just because people can't go search it because they have no idea what it is I'm doing. But if I have a domain name to something I'm selling, they can just go search the heck out of it, research the hell out of it, and they know more about it than I do by the time I sell it. See what I mean? So there's a lot of reasons for being disguised and unpredictable and savvy with your marketing like this. You almost have to outsmart everybody. So you can sell something one day, give something free the next day, offer a free teleseminar the day after that, sell something again, transition, which is both give and sell. So transition is you give them free content, you transition into a sell. All of this, just be unpredictable and consistent, though, as far as like email them every day or every other day or 5 days a week or however you do it. Try to be as consistent as you can. I've learned, because I used to just like I'll email you and then I'll disappear for 2 months and then come back and email you again, and I found that kills my list because they forget about me. Now the market's grown so fast that it wasn't like it used to be where people could stay on my list and the clicks would never really change because there was only a handful of people that were teaching this stuff in the whole market. Now you got everyone and your grandmother teaching internet marketing stuff, including people that are brand new. So you got so many people in the internet marketing market selling and teaching how to make money in the internet marketing market that it's really quick for people to forget about me. So it's better for me to email my list more often now. So some of the old school people who've been on my list for years are probably going to get tired or have been getting tired of me sending more emails than I used to 5 years ago. It's a different world. But now, since I've done that, I've learned that you really should email your list all the time, or they're going to forget about you. Sales emails. There's different types of sales angles or sales tactics that you can use to get people to buy from you. One is, I learned, I don't know who coined this phrase, but hit them over the head sales attempt, which is basically just tell them right out of the gates what it is that just try to sell them. Just go for the juggler. Just hardcore sell their ass. Just be like, hey, I'm doing a launch. This is the product. This is why you need it. Go over here and buy it right now. And so there's that hit them over the head sales attempts, and a lot of people do that, and I like to do that one too. Then there's the give free content and then pitch towards the end of the email. I call it a transitional email, where at the beginning it could be like, hey, I wanted to write this email to you and explain to you one of the biggest lessons I ever learned in internet marketing. I'm going to tell you this lesson for free. So here's a free tip for you to help you with your internet marketing journey. Here it is. Number one, most of the people in the internet marketing market don't make any money because they bounce around from one thing to the next. They're not very attentive. They're not sticking to one thing, so they bounce around from one thing to the next and never make any money. By the way, what you should do is and that's a key word, by the way, what you should do is you should laser focus in on one thing that you're doing, and you'll be able to make money. I have a formula that you should follow because it's step by step. And here, you should go here and buy this, right? So I transitioned into a pitch by starting out by giving them free content. So you can have short copy, blind email copy where they don't even know what it is that you're pitching them on doing. Just short blind email copy, which basically is like, hey, I want you to check this out. Go check it out right now. You're going to absolutely love it. You don't want to miss out on this. It's one of the best things I've seen in the last month. It's really super awesome. Click it here. You'll love it yourself. And the reader doesn't know what the heck is going on, right? They don't know what the offer is at all. They're just, it's called blind copy, which can increase conversions because human beings are curious creatures. Then there's long email copy. That's email copy that's like really long and has a lot of information because some people resonate more. So you're being very unpredictable here. Now some of you might have heard of this, AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action. Well, you can craft your copy like that. At the beginning of your copy, grab their attention. Then pique their interest by tapping into some pain points. Then build their desire for what it would be like to solve this problem, and then call to action. It's a very simple formula for writing emails. Storytelling emails are a little difficult to craft and pull off. I mean, you could do it, but to get the sales, sometimes you have to be just a decent copywriter yourself. But storytelling is another one. You can send them somewhere emails, like send them to your blog or YouTube. You can send them the video on YouTube, gives content and pitches them. Indirect, which would be an email that pitches us in an indirect manner, which is basically not hitting them over the head. It's subtly making it their idea to go check it out. So if I wrote an email that was like, hey, one of the things you should do is you should do your podcast. If you did a podcast, you would really, get a lot of attention, and it gets passed around, and people talk about it, and they subscribe to your podcast, which is a whole nother audience that you could create as a podcast audience. And, one of my friends, Jack, well, he's doing these podcasts. He's really loving it, and he interviewed me for a podcast. It was really cool. We had a lot of fun. And, in fact, he even has a little class where he teaches people how to podcast. He came up with some savvy name, Jack Podcast or something like that, and he's been doing that for a while. So this guy's really into podcasts, and I've been asking him a lot of questions. So I'm really excited to announce to you guys I'm going to be doing a podcast pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. Well, that's an indirect sales attempt. Basically, I just indirectly told them to go look up Jack Podcasting or whatever and figure out what it is that he's doing. You see? It's an indirect thing. Again, that could have been an affiliate link or something that sent them in that direction. Indirect. So testimonial emails is another type of way you can sell people, which would be like, hey, you send them an email and you're like, look what George just said about how this is working out so great for him. George said this, then you post a testimonial, and then after the testimonial say, wouldn't you like the same results as George? Well, just go here, you can start getting the same results because you're using the third-party endorsement, third-party testimonials to sell your stuff. Free content. Now, when we talk about free content, there's so much you can do with that. But here's some things to keep in mind whenever you're going to just give your list free tips and free content. Part of it needs to be just pure entertainment. Like, I'll tell you right now, this is one of the biggest things I need to learn how to do. Like, I had the picture of the dude with the cat earlier. That's part entertainment. There's a reason for method to the madness, right? It's because I know human beings. I've been doing this for so long that, you get to know your market really, really well. And I'm sitting here teaching stuff, right? Now, I've been in a lot of classes over my life, right? Haven't we all? It's really hard to sit here and listen to some dudes teach for an hour or however long we've been on here, right? Especially when you have so many distractions at your fingertips. All it takes is a little click to go over to Facebook, a little click to go check your emails, a little click to read the news. It's so distracting that it's almost becoming where 80% of your stuff should be pure entertainment and only 20% or 30% should be content, because you have to keep people engaged. If not, then they're going to disappear and they're going to go somewhere else. Like right now, it says 50% of you guys that are on this call right now are not attentive. That means that you're not in this go-to webinar. You're somewhere else. That doesn't mean you're not listening to me. You're listening in the background while you're doing something else. That's fine. That's probably what I would be doing too if I was the one listening. And then it's funny, as I say that, everybody starts coming back, so I see the attentive things start going up and up. But anyway, when it comes down to it, you got to make your emails part in entertainment. You've got to make your content part entertainment in order for people to pay attention. So in some form or fashion, entertainment. And then it needs to be part self-promoting too. You got to toot your own horn. That's the number one rule when it comes to publicity. Toot your own horn, because no one's going to go out there and toot your horn like you're going to toot your own horn, right? So toot your own horn, self-promotion. That not a lot of people will tell you what I just told you, but you got to toot your own horn. You got to talk about yourself a little bit. You got to brag about yourself a little bit, or because no one else is. Until you start bragging, it's like Gary Halbert said, I'm the best copywriter in the world, and if you don't believe me, you can go to my website. It says it right there. He's tooting his own horn in a funny way with that statement, because that was in a seminar where he was teaching about this. But you got to do it. Everyone does it. That's in publicity, that's in marketing, that has a branded name or a branded company that they're trying to do, trying to promote. So part of it needs to be that. So an email could just simply be, talking about whatever, and then be like, and by the way, I'm sitting here telling you what you should do, and I've done over $1 million per year online, so I know what I'm talking about. That's tooting my own horn. Why? It's not really because I want to brag to you. I'm not that much of a bragging, boasting person like that. It's on purpose because of authority, right? I got to be an authority figure, or you're not going to pay attention as much. I'm not going to make as much money. It's a business. So you got to promote yourself a little bit. A lot of people have problems with that. Too bad. That's what marketing is. Get over it if you have a problem with that, because it's true. I mean, everyone does it. Even watch TV. Those, that's what they do there too. So, and part of it needs to be nuggets as well. So, good information, insights, secrets, advice, tips, appetizers, or good posts. All of that increases your brand. It creates admiration. It gets people following you. It gets people paying attention to you. It gets people becoming your cheerleaders. You want to take care of your cheerleaders, okay, because they're taking care of you out in the marketplace. I mean, some of my best relationships have come because people were cheerleaders of mine. I'm like, dude, this is like the 5th time I've seen you pimping me out on the internet. What you got going on? What are you doing? What do you need? How can I help you? Those people stand out because they're fans. They're pushing your good stuff. And so anyway, be the messenger, be the best friend, be the coach, be the sloppy sweet person, be the cocky guy. What's your voice? Be the authoritative, be the New Yorker East Coast attitude, or the Georgia farm boy. What the Canadian, snowplow guy, or you're the Hawaiian Caribbean guy, the beach guy, the fisherman, or you're the dirt bike guy that goes riding the dirt bikes and the 4-wheelers, or who are you, right? Have your voice and embellish it. Get it out there and embellish it. Make it bigger, amplify your personality or who you want to be as far as this persona that you are. Be more of that. Make it bigger. Make it stand out more. Make it larger than life if you can, because like there's times where I feel like I'm just going off and like I'm just spitting all over my computer screen and I'm just going off and I'm just crazy. I'm just telling everybody what to do and ranting around and puffing and huffing and puffing. And then I listen to the recording and I sound all laid back and all just kind of slow. It's weird. So make it larger than life and you'll see for yourself that that's where you get the results. Sequences versus broadcasts. With the sequences, what that means is you can create emails, like you can create 50 emails right now, load them up into your autoresponder account, and have them drip out once per week for the next year. So you'd send one email to your list per week for the next 52 weeks or so, and can complete a year. And so like 6 months from now, you could be like sitting on a fishing boat in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, and an email just went out even though you didn't do anything. That's the beauty of this email sequences, autoresponder, email marketing business, is you can make money automatically and passively because it's just automatically being sent out to your list for you when you load them up like that. Broadcast emails is when I could create an email right now and just blast it out to my list right now. Or I could write an email right now and schedule it to go blast out to my list tomorrow morning, since I'll be busy in the morning. So you use this as the backbone of your business a lot of times to generate money and do broadcast too. So top of mind awareness, always out of sight, out of control. If they're never hearing from you, they're going to quickly forget about you. So here's kind of a way you can go about doing emails. Give free content and then sell something, and then give free content and then sell something, and then sell something and then sell something, then give free content, give free content, give free content, sell, and on and on and on. So be unpredictable. So give means day 1, email 1, give free content. Day 2, email 2, sell something. Day 3, email 3, give free content. Day 4, sell something. Day 5, email 5, sell something. Day 6, email 6, sell something. Day 7, maybe transition, give and sell. Day 8, send them to a YouTube video, give them free content. Day 9, send them to your blog and give free content, and then sell this day. And you just keep doing that, and you just be unpredictable, and you keep mixing it up like that, and then they just can't help but to pay attention and buy your stuff and become a fan of yours. Next is we're going to talk about special limited promotions. This is kind of a formula. It's not set in stone. There's no rule here. You can do it how you want to do it, but this is kind of a good idea to follow. But day 1 is you would send out emails to your list, build an anticipation. You would tell them that the special promotion is coming in a couple of days. They don't want to miss out on it. This is going to be absolutely huge, and that builds anticipation in their brain. It's a psychological tactic, because then when you do launch it, they're that much more interested because you already pre-framed them and built the anticipation. Does that make sense? Yes or yes? Okay, good. Day 2 is the countdown to launch. So the second day you send emails saying, hey, we're launching tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. 9 a.m. Central Time. You do not want to miss this. It's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. I can't wait for the special promotion. You're going to freak. So don't miss out. Set your alarm. Make sure you're there at 9 a.m. Tomorrow morning, because this is going to be great, and that's when we open the doors. And this is a special limited promotion. It's limited, limited, limited. So don't miss out. This is your chance. It's going to blow you away. So then they show up, right, the next day. Day 3 is launch, 9 a.m. Open the doors. Send out an email. You schedule the email. We're open. Come get it. Special promotion. We're celebrating my 8th year of being a full-time online marketer. Come buy this right now. You're going to absolutely love it. It's the best deal. 95% off these 4 products that, whatever. And then scarcity. This is closing in, 48 hours or 36 hours or 24 hours or 12 hours, whatever you're doing. We're closing this. Don't miss out on this. Buy it while it's hot. Buy it while you're here right now. Don't get distracted. Go buy it right now. Day 4. Oh, wait. Then you would say at midnight Central Time on Thursday, this offer closes, no exceptions. Just for example, you want to build the urgency and tell them this special promotion is going to close because it's so important. The closing of this is really where all the money comes. Actually, the beginning when you launch it, and then the closing when you do close it. And then day 4 or 5, whenever you decide to close it, that's a full day of, or the day 4 would be a selling, full day of selling. So send multiple emails to your list, pushing the urgency, pushing the scarcity big time. Be aggressive with this day. This is your full day of selling. Like, send 4 or 5 emails that day and just keep coming at them with different angles and keep getting them to buy this offer. Day 5 is last chance day. Hey, closeout day. It closes tonight at midnight. This is your last chance, final last chance. You're going to miss out. You're going to be left on the docks. The bus is leaving. You're either on the bus or you're off the bus. I'm the bus driver. I take everybody to school. Hours left. There's only hours. Last chance. Closing in an hour. Go here. If you have any questions, email me right away. I'd hate for you to miss out on this. This is the best special I've ever ran. Go get it right now. It's going to close tonight. You don't want to miss out. Get it. Right? You guys are all like ready to buy, right? Because I'm pushing all the scarcity. What's he talking about? What was he talking about? I need to go buy it right now. For those that weren't paying attention, they think I'm selling something. Anyway, and then it's closed. It closes at midnight. Be sure to be strict and close it like you said you're going to do, right? So many people, especially marketers, they don't do what they say they're going to do, and then people trust that less. So do what you say you're going to do, and the next time you do a special promotion, they're damn sure going to buy it because they know you're not going to keep it open forever. 5 days off the launch like this, a little mini promo to your own list, internal launch, can yield big bucks as you get going in your business. It can, let's say you're trying to make $40,000 or $50,000 a year online, and you're trucking along. You're making $40,000 or $50,000. You're making a few grand a month or whatever that works out to be, and then you do this right here, and you make like 30 grand that week. This is life-changing when you do stuff like that, and there's a reason why it works. Let's look at this graph I just drew, because I drew it with my mouse, by the way, and then took a screenshot. So, do you see this graph? Let me explain this to you because it looks confusing at first glance. Over here is money, so this is money, right? And over here is time. So let's say it's day 1 to day 5. You're doing a 5-day launch. When you open up and you send your emails out for the first time, when it opens up, people start buying, and they start buying, and they start buying. And the reason why it doesn't go straight up is because, they're not sitting there waiting for your email. People are working and they have other things that they're doing. But as they start seeing the emails, like here's, people start seeing it at lunch, and people start seeing it, 2 or 3 o'clock when they start checking out at work, and then, they drive home, and then people are getting home, and then people are, on their iPads, and they're buying stuff in the evening, and then they kind of go to sleep, and then and then the next day comes, and it starts dying down. You send another few emails, but these people that already bought right away, they already bought. They're your best customers. They always buy right away because they're fans of yours and they see this brand new offer and you built anticipation over here. So your best customers usually buy right away, right? And then it starts dropping off because your best customers already bought, and then it starts going down, down, down. So like when you get over here to like day 4, it's like crashed, right? And you're like, okay, we made as much money as we can make. It's almost dead. No one's really buying. But then you still got closeout time. Then you start hitting the emails with we're closing, last chance. You're going to freaking miss out. You're going to hate missing this opportunity. You're going to be left on the docks. You better buy it right now because it's closing. You're going to miss out forever. And then all of a sudden, your sales peak. And sometimes they can keep going up and make you more money than you did when you opened, just because of the human nature, psychological feeling and emotion of not wanting to miss out. See how that works? And you close the heck out of it midnight right here, and because the buy now button's now disabled, doesn't work, no more sales. But look what you did. You made all this cash right here, which equaled this cash right here because you closed it. So this little technique I just showed you right now, oh man, this has made me tons of money. So that's what you should do right there. Do those kinds of things when you build your list, make you fortune. This also goes for launches too, where you get affiliates to promote for you. Your best affiliates are going to promote right away. Those are your friends, your buds, your buddies. They promote right away. And then you start getting crappy affiliates who don't really have any traffic, aren't really trying. And if they're all promoting for you at the same time, the sales start going down because they've all hit their list. But then when you close it out, this is why marketers close things in the first place, to get this spike, this urgency. So when you start closing it out, all the affiliates start telling their list, we're closing, and then everyone starts making more money again. So the same thing for an external launch with affiliates as it is as an internal launch to your own list. Pretty cool, huh? I'd say. Branding via emails. People buy and pay attention to those that they know, like, and trust. How do you get people to know you? How do you get people to know you on your email list? Because people buy from those and pay attention to those they know, like, and trust. So how do you get people to know you? You talk about yourself. You share stuff with them. You engage them in conversation. You do calls like this. You do live calls. You do give them free content. You embellish your personality traits more. You get around them if you can. And they become cheerleaders out there and nucleus for you, and they start to know you. There's tons of people that know me pretty well from my emails and stuff that I don't know at all. They know I have a son. They know I live in Austin. They know I live by Lake Travis. They know all kinds of stuff. But I don't know them, right? That's because I reveal that stuff, right? And by revealing that stuff, they feel like they know me really well. And when I see them at events, they talk to me like I've been their best friend forever. I love that. So how do you get people to like you? Because people buy from those they know, like, and trust. Well, I think it's be attractive, be an attractive person, be magnetic, a magnetic individual. If you yourself are happy and joyful and positive, and you're nice and kind and helpful and generous and gracious, easygoing, enlightened person, you're laid back, you're smart, you're disciplined, you're the opposite of toxic, negative, that type of direction, then people are going to like you more because no one wants to be around the other type. And we all know that we could be both ways. You could be happy and you could be angry. You could be positive and you could be negative. You could be nice and kind, or you could be conceited and sarcastic and rude. You could be helpful or you could be non-helpful, right? Easygoing or not easygoing, laid back or charged up, and there's different ways to be. And we can all kind of be different things at different times. But when you write your emails or create your videos or do your copy or whatever it is that you do, if you generally want to help people and you're portraying that and you're letting it come out, like with telemarketing, they teach smile and dial. So when you're calling people trying to sell them stuff, make yourself smile while you're talking on the phone. Like I'm smiling, I'm trying to smile right now while I'm talking to you, and it's really kind of hard to talk with a big smile on my face. But what happens is it comes across to you in a more happy manner. And I can't help but to be happy if I'm smiling. So the whole presentation changes now because now I'm smiling while I'm talking to you. And you're probably smiling listening to me or laughing because this is just corny. Anyway, project that you like them and they'll like you. Give compliments and mean well, okay? Mean well towards them, mean well towards others. Love your subscribers, love your customers, and they'll love you. They'll like you. They'll respect you. They'll admire you if they can sense And people can sense, whether they consciously sense or subconsciously sense, whether you are sincere or not. You can tell your BS meter goes off when you come across people who are not sincere, right? Or who are not generous, who don't give a damn about you. You can tell. It shines through, doesn't it? So write to someone that you really like. So when you create your avatar, make sure that avatar is someone you really like. I really like Homer Simpson on my wall. I really like that dude. When I look at him, it makes me smile because he's a funny guy, right? So I want to be funny when I write to him. And it shines through. It'll shine through on my Facebook posts at times. It'll shine through on my emails at times. I'll add in a little bit of humor because of Homer freaking Simpson on my wall right now. He's looking at me. He's looking at you guys right now. He's right there on the wall. Can't you see him? So the highest level of conversions is what? Celebrity. Famous, well-known, well-liked. They have the it factor, whatever. They're well-known. They've created a persona that is a celebrity in the marketplace. That's the highest form of conversions. The next one is authority. Now, when you think about this, authority like doctors, lawyers, specialists, experts. Now, when you think about these two things, celebrities, authorities in the marketplace, you can act like either way or both, right? I say a combination of the two. Celebrity is really a them thing, like it's the market pegs you as that or doesn't peg you as that, but you could present yourself as a celebrity / authority figure in your marketplace, and people will start to resonate and treat you that way. It's be, do, have. Be that person, do what that person would do, and you'll have what that person will have. Well, this is what a lot of people that break out into a market do. You know, they just announce their presence with authority and celebrity and act like that type of person, and then everyone treats them that way. I could think of one marketer in particular who I'd never heard of this guy, and then I heard recently, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago, I started hearing about him a lot. And I'm like, I don't know who that is. Who is this? Everyone keeps bringing this guy up to me, you know? And then now I was in the bookstore recently, actually looking at niche markets, right, at the magazine section, and I saw Inc. magazine, I-N-C, Inc. magazine. Grabbed the magazine, as I always do, flipping through it, and lo and behold, a full-page ad for his book that he has, this best-selling book that he has. I'm like, wow, this dude is manufacturing some serious authority and celebrity, and it's working. Good for him. He knows what he's doing. You know, awesome. But he's an example of what I'm talking about here. You could do this with your emails, even if it's just to your emails, just that audience. It doesn't have to necessarily be to the market. If you're doing that to your audience, they're going to resonate with you. It's called the herd, right? There's the herd, and there's the shepherds. You're now a shepherd, shepherding the herd. You're stewarding the herd to go in the direction that you want them to go, getting them to think, be, do, feel, and have what you want them to. It's just part of the game, and this is a way to look at it. And here's another thing. Even if you didn't watch this part of this video and you didn't learn about celebrity and authority and you didn't even realize and never thought about it, and you don't want to be a celebrity, you don't want to be authority in the marketplace, too bad. It's going to happen. If you start selling stuff and teaching stuff or providing stuff, and if you do it well enough in the marketplace, and you let out, if you're not being so guarded to, like some people, like there's some people in the market that do very, very well, millions and millions of dollars, and no one knows who they are. Then there's others who let people know who they are and teach the stuff. Those are the people, well, of course, if you do that, you're gonna be known as an authority or a celebrity if you just let your name out there a little bit. Like there's some people that they don't sell anything, they don't do anything, they never have anything in the marketplace. Like John Reese is a good example. He sold, years ago. When's the last time he sold something in the marketplace? But he's still considered, a celebrity / authority in the marketplace. So he's a great example. Love John Reese, great dude. So what I'm saying is they're just, whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. Okay. If you just let people know who you are, if you're doing a lot of the right things in your market. Like let's say you're in the weight loss market and you're just really helping tons of people lose weight, and you have blogs and you have websites and products and you have coaching programs and you're on YouTube and there's people out there saying, I learned so much from Sally. She helped me lose 95 pounds. Now I can fit in these jeans that I love so much I wore in high school. And Sally, you're the best thing since sliced bread. Love you so much. And then it starts getting around. There's nothing you can do. You're gonna become an authority or a celebrity figure if you're providing lots of value and you're out there marketing. I already said this. Gary Halbert said, I'm one of the best, or he said, I'm the best copywriter in the whole world. And if you don't believe me, you can go check my website. It says right there. So you got to toot your own horn. You can do that in your emails too. You can say things in your emails, Get personal. It's hard for some people to do. We're almost done here, by the way. We seem to all have these lines that we don't cross, right, as far as letting people know about personal stuff about us. But I watched a video earlier today, of a lady who's into an MLM company, and she actually cried on camera. She was talking about something, and she got a little emotional, started crying a little bit, and then she went back into what she was talking about. I thought, dang, man, that's pretty personal right there. But you know what? Guess what? People love that. Absolutely. She was real, right? I mean, I don't think she was faking, but people love that. If she's being sincere, I think she's completely sincere, by the way. They feel that. They love that. They yearn for that. They look for that, right? They gravitate to that real human emotion. So just think, I'm not saying you have to go cry on camera, okay, or cry in your emails, but I'm saying if you let a little bit of your personality out to people, then they'll love you for that. From the heart emails can really bring in a lot of success for you and also get people to respect and admire you more because you're telling the truth. You're being real, right? You're being a person. They're people. They all have flaws too. Even if they go and they rag on you and they criticize you and they belittle you and chastise you, they have just as many problems, if not more, right? We're all human beings. It's really ridiculous if you think about it when people act like they're better than each other. Oh, I'm better than you because I have more money. Whatever. It's stupid. We're all the same, right? So one of the things you can do is a damaging admission. No matter how perfect we think we are, no matter how perfect we think our products are, we and our products are not perfect. So if we admit that we have some kind of flaw or that our product offer has a flaw, that can increase conversions. It's just a natural human being thing. If I'm around a group of people and I'm just like acting like I'm all that, they're going to start to not like me, right? And maybe I sense that subconsciously, and then I say to them, oh, by the way, blank, and do some kind of admission on some kind of problem I have. Ooh, now they all like me, right? So I just thought of something, but I'm not going to go there. There's just ways that you can admit flaws to get other people to resonate and like you more. I'll go ahead and say it. So there's been times where I've been around some people and, that have maybe a little bit of a problem with the money that I make and being at my house, a nice house and cars and stuff like that. I'd be around them and then I can sense that because they don't make very much money and they haven't made very much money, they have a lot of financial problems. And I can sense that they're having a problem with the wealth and stuff, right? So I admit some flaws just naturally so we can have a good time together, right? So they can see I'm just a normal human being too. I got freaking problems. I got a tooth pulled, because it was bad. I'm not perfect, right? Obviously. So damaging admissions is a technique in persuasion, but it's a human nature thing too. It's not a learned thing. We do that, in a subconscious type of way, in an instinctive type of way. But you can do that in your emails, and woo, it can really change. It can really make a huge difference. So I just did it. Did you catch it? I just did it with you guys. I was talking about how I could be around people, and anyway, getting too deep here. So email can talk about personal stuff. It can admit a flaw. I don't like being around crowds of people, which is absolutely 100% true. I hate crowds of people. Like the internet marketing parties that we have in Austin, I hate that. Crowds of people all together and I can't really hear them and they're like talking to me and they're crowding me and I I could smell them, and they, we're exchanging breath, and I don't like crowds of people. So freaking what? I'm a human being. I don't like being around big crowds of people. I would rather not, right? So there's a flaw that I just admitted to you guys right there. I'm a little tough on people at times. I've scaled that down over the years and learned to not be really too tough on people. Like my family and different people and friends, I tone that down big time because sometimes it can be tough on people and they hate that. My product does not come with group coaching, could be a flaw to a product. And you could say, unfortunately, lots of people have asked me to provide group coaching for this product, and I just can't do it right now. So that is one downside to the product. I'm just too busy, and that would probably drive up the cost on you anyway. So unfortunately, there is no group coaching, but I do provide you with step-by-step directions on what you can do, and a lot of this is very easy. And if you have any questions, you can send emails and do support tickets. So that helps increase conversions. You see what I mean by admitting a flaw? So admitting to a flaw can really get people to know, like, and trust you. Know, like, and trust you. I mean, some marketers, they actually use the flaws to their advantage. If they've got in trouble with the FTC and stuff like that, they use, like there's one marketer that got in trouble with the FTC, and I have one of his sales letters as a swipe file where he's saying, it's totally capitalizing on that in a way. And that's cool. That's smart, right? It's very smart because everyone's a little worried about getting in trouble with the law, the big brother, the government. And so those kinds of things, can be used to increase conversions because it's a flaw. It's like, see, I got flaws too. I made this mistake, and I paid dearly for this mistake I made. And then everyone can like that person more because we all have flaws. We don't like anyone that's perfect. Or most people don't like people who are perfect. We root for their downfall if they're perfect or seem too perfect. Whew, this has been a lot of content, right? So, okay, I thought we were done. We're almost done. Law of association. People remember things by associating things with other things. Like, I live in Austin, Texas. So many people know that I live in Austin, Texas because I say it all the time. It's in my content, it's in my emails. I talk about it. Austin, Austin, Austin. Love Austin, Austin rules, Austin rocks. Got some Austin people in the room right now, like Ann and others. So live in Austin, Texas. Someone in Asia, maybe, might think that I ride horses and wear cowboy hats and battle Mexican bandits at the Alamo because they've never been to Austin, Texas, but they have this view of Austin, Texas, and by God, I'm associated with that because I throw that out there. So when they think of Texas or cowboys or bulls or dipping Copenhagen or whatever, they're going to think of me, maybe, right? Or I'm a big fan of the Texas A&M Aggies, right? College football team, yeah, go Aggies. Well, if anyone sees the Aggies playing on TV, they might think of me, especially if they're not into college football or if they are into college football. Like I have some friends who are into the Sooners, the Oklahoma Sooners. I always think about them when I see the Sooners on TV. Or I could be talking about how much I love Merlot, Fredericksburg Merlot, right? Becker Merlot, which is really good Merlot, by the way, from Fredericksburg, Texas. Becker Vineyards, look it up if you like Merlot wine. And I can talk about that. And then if people are in the restaurant and they're ordering Merlot, subconsciously they may even think about me. So it's the law of association. And the law of association goes a lot deeper than this. But we could talk about, like, if I'm standing next to Tony Robbins, that's the law of association. You will now associate me with Tony Robbins as being on that kind of level. If I'm standing next to the President of the United States, and I'm dressed in a suit and tie and everything, you might consider me to be some kind of, politician or something or some kind of authority figure, celebrity, top-notch person that could be in a room, not to mention taking a picture with the President of the United States. You know what I mean? So there's all kinds of law of association type of things that can go deep, and you can use that to your advantage in your emails. And I know this is advanced stuff, but it works. Dang, this is okay. So crafting the email copy. Subject line is very important. What's the most important thing you could do what's the most important part of a subject line? So a subject line is the line, the email that you're sending out to your list. The most important part of a subject line is who's it from. Because if they trust you and they know you and they like you and they admire you and they can't wait for your next email, they will open it. So how you do everything is what's important here, because that's what's going to get your most opens, get the most clicks, and all that stuff. So, but the subject line is really important, and the importance of the subject line is to get them to open the email. They're getting pounded by emails on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, maybe even on a minute-by-minute basis. So you want to be sure and capture their attention to get them to open the email. If you've never heard of this, this is a pretty cool psychological trick too. It's called the Zeigarnik effect, and the definition of it is, from Webster's Dictionary, the psychological tendency to remember an uncompleted task rather than a completed one. Basically, like this. Let's say this is my subject title of the email I sent out to my list today. It says, "Today is the day I finally blank, blank, blank," or ... right? Now, what I'm saying to my list is, what I'm doing to my list here is I'm driving them insane in their subconscious mind, because they can't stand to not know what it is, the incomplete thought here. Today is the day you finally what, Eric? They got to open to see what I'm finally doing, right? Okay, I'm running out of juice here. So get the click, get them to open. You know, there's subject titles. Here's some words that get higher opens that I found. New. Anytime you send an email out with a subject title that says new in it, here's a new formula, here's a new offer, here's a new opportunity, here's a new way, here's a new thing that can help. Hey, you know, if your subject says hey, comma, then it seems very personal, seems very communication, engaged, conversational-like. If you use the little RE thing like that, that can get increasing conversions, opens. Breaking news, everyone wants to know the breaking news. Just released, they want to be the first to know. This is kind of, parentheses, personal is a really cool trick, because the word personal is subconscious, and, you know, anyway, you get it. Just forget it, never mind is a subject title I actually sent out one time and got tons of opens. Just forget it, never mind. They open it. And so you just get creative. Howdy is what I open up a lot of my emails with, and the reason why is because I'm writing to you, but people opt in, especially single opt-in. They use like fake names like Mickey Mouse or you know, Donald Trump, or they'll even use my name, Eric Louviere, as the first name, Eric. So because they keep track of the emails that way, and it's not very intimate or personal-wise like that. So I stopped doing that. I just started writing howdy or hey or hi. So that way I don't really use the first name tag. Again, AIDA with your emails and crafting the emails. At the beginning, you want to capture their attention. Then you want to drive home some interest. You know, pick some scabs, tap into some pain by building the interest. Then build the desire by telling them how great this is and how you're going to solve the problem. And then get them to take action by telling them to click the link. And sizzle sales, you know, I mean, I know not every market's going to resonate with sizzle, but in the markets where it does resonate, always try to add sizzle and you get higher conversions. And then also urgency. Tell them to hurry, tell them this is limited, tell them they better get there fast, you know, chop, speed, sprint over here, click this now, go, go, go. All of that increases urgency too. And then, again, mix up long email copy and short email copy. Lastly, no rules. Have fun with all this and be consistent. There's no set in stone rules with what you need to do or not do with your emails to your list or how you reach your audience. It could be posts on Facebook. It could be tweets that go out there on Twitter. It could be your blog. It could be Pinterest. It could be direct mail. It could be a telemarketing list. It could be your customer list. It doesn't matter because we're talking about audiences, but have fun with it. Be consistent. I mean, be inconsistent, really, but be consistent on how often you reach them. So if you're going to make a Facebook post, try to make a Facebook post every day, at least I think. But there's no rules. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you could be inconsistent. No one knows until it's tested. But I think you should be top of mind awareness with them unless you've built a celebrity in the marketplace. If you've built a celebrity, you can disappear for a while, come back, and then everyone will sing your tunes for you. Where have you been? So glad you're back. Wow, can't wait. You know, all of that can really make a big difference. Get people to know, like, and trust you. Nobody likes, knows, or trusts someone they never hear from, so email them, treat them very, very well. They'll treat you very, very well, and that's it. Any quick questions? Because we've been on for a very long time.
Mark asks if you split test your emails.
No, I don't split test my emails. Do you, Dan?
Not really. I know that you can by, segmenting out your list and stuff like that, but no, that's something we should do.
But yeah, I mean, we're not perfect, so we just admitted a flaw. No, we don't split test, but we'll certainly look at the results. I mean, it's basically like, I think with the sequences that you send out to your list, the automatic emails that get sent out, not the broadcast emails, but the automatic emails, those should probably be split tests. You get, especially the first like 7. And then, but broadcast emails where you're promoting stuff, nah, we don't really do that. I guess because I just rely on copywriting abilities, but good point, Mark.
It also depends on your list, right? If you have a list and you only have 1,000 people, then it's not, you're not going to segment out your list and only send it one email to 200 people. But if you had a list, I was talking to a buddy today that has a list of like 300,000 people, and so he was talking about he wasn't 100% sure which way to go with an offer, so we talked about him. Testing, not really split testing an email, but basically segmenting out, so only sending one email to like 50,000 people, and he was going to send the other email to another 50,000 people, and then judge the results based on that, and then whatever results, the best results he got, he would send to the remainder of his list. But you obviously have to have a big enough list to be able to pull that off, even if you have like a list of 10,000 people, which is a fairly sized list, and you only get 300 clicks. Like, can you really get good split testing data from 300 clicks? Probably not.
Yeah, true.
Dean is asking, when you start a new list, do you behave or act differently between a prospect list and a customer list?
That's a really good question. No, I don't think I do too much, but I can see where that could be done. I would,
I guess
you kind of stumped me on that question, because there are times where if it's a prospect list that hasn't bought anything, that we almost get to the point where we're being pretty rude.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's like, you've been on here, you're tire kicking, not buying anything, you start to turn up the volume on aggressiveness a little bit, and all of a sudden you start getting results, and so you realize that even though that's not normally you, but I've also done that to my customer list too at times. I just kind of ruffle their feathers and make them mad a little bit to stand out. So that's a tough question for me to answer. You got any thoughts on that, Dan?
Really, just that, sometimes we make different offers to just customer lists, not really an ongoing. A lot of what you're talking about today was like ongoing autoresponder messages and stuff like that, as opposed to sales pitches. And so if we, drive traffic from, let's say, Facebook or something like that, and you build a list of like, you have 5,000 prospects and they've never spent a penny for you, and all of a sudden you offer like a $5,000 coaching offer. Well, you may decide to send to that email list, but it might be difficult to pull off, where sending that email to proven buying customers, you probably get a much higher conversion rate or whatever. But yeah, that's something that we should definitely look into even more ourselves.
I remember I used to never send sales emails to lists of VIPs who had, spent a ton of money with me. So I had a list of people that were only the people who, had spent, a lot of money, like on a coaching offer or something with me, or a copywriting deal, a JV launch deal, and I wouldn't email them. But then I when talking to one of them and explaining, well, I don't send those emails out to you guys because you're my VIPs. You've spent tons of money with me, right? They wanted those emails. So I started to just go ahead and send them all the emails to them, most of them, because they wanted the emails because they wanted to see what I was doing, what I was selling, how I was selling it, you know, and all that. And I was like, well, that makes a lot of sense. I was just trying to protect you guys from everything else I was selling.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I was just giving them, you know, a lot of stuff. But anyway, I just stopped doing that pretty much and just, you know, treat them all kind of the same. But I can see at times where I've treated different lists different ways. That's a really good question. You got me thinking now.
Yeah, two real good questions right out of the gate.
Yeah, both of them.
That's all the questions we have for the moment.
Cool. Well, that was a lot of content, so I got it recorded on my end, and I think you did too, so
Yep.
just in case. And got a good crowd today, so thanks everybody. Have a good time, and we'll see you next time.
Fiorga